My child, listen carefully. My beloved, keep your heart open. Heaven is calling your attention now, and Archangel Michael carries a message that feels urgent because someone you still remember deeply longs for you to receive it. A loved one whose face still appears when you close your eyes has been trying to reach the quiet places of your heart. Perhaps a dream ended too quickly. Perhaps a memory surfaced, but the noise of the day pushed it aside. Now this message has found you. Do not dismiss it as meaningless. Think about the sudden chill you felt, the familiar name that crossed your mind, or the old photograph that unexpectedly pulled at your heart. Those moments awakened something within you. Their message is gentle, almost like breath disappearing from glass. If ignored, the feeling may fade beneath distraction. But if you receive it with an open heart, it can become something that changes how you carry the past. Beloved, I am Michael, standing with the sword of truth and the shield of mercy. I witnessed the final moments they could not explain to you, the words they wished they could leave behind, and the love that remained when their voice became silent. I also remember the promise you made during the nights when grief felt unbearable. Heaven does not overlook tears or forget the vows spoken from a broken heart. You are not cursed by what happened. Your life still carries purpose. You are not too late. You are standing near a doorway that asks you to release what has kept you trapped. Step toward it with courage. Some moments of healing appear quietly, and if fear delays you, they can disappear beneath old habits. Your loved one whispers, and I carry that whisper like a letter wrapped in light. Tell my beloved I am not far. Tell them I am not angry. Tell them I saw every effort, every sacrifice, and every smile they forced while breaking inside. Tell them I am proud of how they kept going. Tell them forgiveness was already present before they ever found the words to ask for it. Most of all, tell them to release the guilt they have carried for far too long. You have blamed yourself for storms you never created. You have apologized for things that were never yours to control. You have been trying to repay a debt that mercy has already declared finished. Stop punishing yourself for what God has already released. Stop grieving as though transformation means everything was lost. What left your life did not take every blessing with it. Some endings become the ground from which healing begins. Hands did not leave your life. It simply changed rooms. Grace moved it to a higher floor. My child, you are not reading by accident. When you were a child, you looked up at the sky and felt watched over. That was not imagination. That was training. Heaven has always been teaching your spirit how to hear. You are hearing now. 2 minutes remain, and every second is holy. Do not fear time. Time is bowing to the author. Your story has a fresh chapter with your name in bold letters. Turn the page deliberately. You do not need permission from your past. You only need agreement from your soul. There is a name that has been heavy on your heart lately. You wonder if they think of you. Yes, they do. You wonder if reconciliation is possible. Yes, but first you must reconcile with yourself. Forgive the version of you that didn't know then what you know now. Forgive the silence, the delay, the missed call, the unspoken tenderness. Mercy is a key. It opens rooms you thought were locked forever. A sign is prepared for you in the next 3 days. It will arrive quietly, a repeated number, a fragrance that makes no sense. a line in a song that feels aimed at your chest, a feather where no bird could have flown. Do not dismiss it as chance. Respond. Say out loud, I receive. When you say it, I will go before you. Child of light, your loved one has a specific request. Release the object you keep hidden in the drawer, the one you touch when you miss them, not because it is bad, but because it keeps your grief in a small circle. Place it somewhere open. Let sunlight touch it. Let air move around it. When you do, the memory will stop aching and start anointing. Their legacy is not meant to imprison you. It is meant to propel you. You keep asking if you missed your season. No, you survived the training season. The pain that tried to bury you was actually the soil that covered a seed. Seeds are not dead. They are hidden. Your hidden time is over. Rise like something planted, on purpose. Someone spoke against you. They framed you with words that tried to make you smaller than your calling. Those words built a cage, but only for a moment. I am breaking the lock now. The accusation is dissolving. Your name is being cleaned in rooms you have never entered. Your reputation is being repaired by hands you cannot see. Listen carefully. You will soon be asked to step into a place you were once rejected from. Walk in, but do not bring the old fear. Walk in, but do not try to earn what is already yours. Heaven is not giving you a chair at the table. Heaven is reminding you the table had your name engraved from the beginning. My beloved, if this word touches your soul, pause and anchor yourself with faith. Make sure you subscribe to this voice of light so you don't miss the next message heaven already scheduled for you. Your spirit needs consistent nourishment, and I will bring it when you are ready to receive. Stay connected to what lifts you. You are too important to go hungry in your heart. Now breathe. The guilt loosens. The fear thins. The anxiety that used to chase you will now chase answers instead. Your nights will not steal your mornings anymore. There will be rest where there used to be shaking. There will be clarity where there used to be fog. You are being reintroduced to yourself. Your loved one adds one more truth. The day I left, I did not abandon you. I graduated. I moved to a vantage point where I can see more and pray better. I have been interceding for you with a smile you can't see but can feel. I place my blessing on your next decision. Choose life. Choose softness. Choose patience with your own becoming. Let those words sit on your chest like a warm hand. They are here not to keep you in the past, but to escort you forward. You worry about money. Heaven is not blind to bills. Provision is traveling with your name on it, but it requires a new habit. Stewardship with joy, not fear. Start with what you have. Honor the small payment, the small saving, the small generosity. The door of increase opens on hinges of small faithfulness. When you move, I will multiply. There is a relationship that tried to define you. By your lowest day, walk away from that definition. You are not your worst moment. You are a living sentence. God is still writing. The pen has not run dry. The ink is mercy. The author does not abandon drafts. He finishes what he begins. You asked for a sign of protection. Consider this your covering. I station angels at your thresholds. Door, phone, mind, and heart. No message formed to break, you will prosper. No comparison formed to drain, you will stand. No memory formed to punish, you will remain sharp. I sand down the edges of yesterday so you can walk today without bleeding. Child, there is a person you love who feels far from hope. You have been carrying them like a heavy bag. Lay them down on the floor of prayer. Say their name out loud now. I heard it. I send help that looks like a friend, a call, a sudden courage to ask for support. You do not have to be their only ladder. Heaven builds more than one. Your creativity is about to reopen. Expect ideas at odd hours. Keep a pen near your bed. Keep a note open in your phone. You worry about money. Heaven is not blind to bills. Provision is traveling with your name on it, but it requires a new habit. Stewardship with joy, not fear. Start with what you have. Honor the small payment, the small saving, the small generosity. The door of increase opens on hinges of small faithfulness. When you move, I will multiply. There is a relationship that tried to define you by your lowest day. Walk away from that definition. You are not your worst moment. You are a living sentence. God is still writing. The pen has not run dry. The ink is mercy. The author does not abandon drafts. He finishes what he begins. You ask for a sign of protection. Consider this your covering. I station angels at your thresholds, door, phone, mind, and heart. No message formed to break. You will prosper. No comparison formed to drain. You will stand. No memory formed to punish you will remain sharp. I sand down the edges of yesterday so you can walk today without bleeding. Child, there is a person you love who feels far from hope. You have been carrying them like a heavy bag. Lay them down on the floor of prayer. Say their name out loud now. I heard it. I send help that looks like a friend, a call, a sudden courage to ask for support. You do not have to be their only ladder. Heaven builds more than one. Your creativity is about to reopen. Expect ideas at odd hours. Keep a pen near your bed. Keep a note open in your phone. Your next door will be disguised as a small idea that refuses to leave you alone. Treat it like a guest from heaven. Offer it attention, time, and simple action. Do not apologize for healing. People who benefited from your confusion may not celebrate your clarity. Bless them and move. Your life is not a courtroom. It is a garden. Plant joy deliberately. Water peace daily. Expose bitterness to the sun until it dries and breaks into gentleness. I remove the fear of making the wrong move. Your steps will be ordered. Yes, even the pauses. Delay will start serving you instead of punishing you. If a door shuts, it is not rejection. It is redirection with timing on it. If a door opens, it will come with peace, not panic. Look for peace. Follow peace. Now about that dream you had, the one where they tried to speak, but the words were muffled. Here is what they tried to say. Stop carrying my departure like a failure. Carry it like a flame. I want you happy without feeling guilty. I want you laughing without looking over your shoulder. I want you to build the thing we always talked about and invite me into the dedication with a whisper. Do it. They will be there. You have asked for confirmation 3 times. This is your third. You asked, should I message them? Yes, if you can do it without begging. You asked, should I start that project? Yes, if you can begin small and continue consistently. You asked, will I be okay? Yes, because you already are more okay than you think. Beloved, you will soon feel a lightness in your body, like someone opened a window in your chest. That is not random relief. That is your soul making room for new oxygen. Let it in. You do not need to hold your breath to earn a miracle. Breathe and let heaven work while you walk. There will be a message you are tempted to delete without reading. Do not delete it. There will be a call you are tempted to ignore. Do not ignore it. There will be an invitation you are tempted to minimize. Do not minimize it. One of these is a hinge moment. Hinges look small, but they swing big doors. If this word is resonating, seal it with intention. Whisper, I agree with the light. Write 1 sentence about what you will do in the next 24 hours. Small, clear, doable. Heaven loves movement. Even when it is quiet, grace is fuel. You must still steer. And hear me because this matters. When doubt returns and it will knock, do not open that door alone. Reach out to someone safe. Let them stand in the hallway of your mind and talk with you until doubt leaves. You are not a solitary soldier. You are part of a guarded city. I am posted at your gates. If this message is feeding you, subscribe to this stream of guidance so you do not miss the next clarity sent for your path. Your journey needs regular light, not one-time flashes. Stay near the voice that steadies you. We will keep walking together. 2 minutes remain has become 1. And yet you are calm. That calm is proof the word reached its target. Time bends for obedience. What you needed to receive has entered you like rain. Do not run from it. Let it sink and green the ground. Your loved one's final line for now. I am okay. I want you to live like sunlight after the storm. Take my blessing and go. Build the life I knew you deserved. I am not an ache. I am a wind at your back. Carry that. Walk with that. Speak that over your pillow tonight. I am Michael, and I will continue to guard your steps. When you feel the sudden warmth on your shoulder, that is my hand. When you hear the soft call in your name, that is heaven's echo. When you feel the urge to open this message again, do it. Some words are bread. You eat more than once. Now go gently. Honor this moment with 1 act of courage. Say the truth you swallowed. Clean the small corner you avoided. Open the window you painted shut. Mercy is waiting on the sill. Hope is already in the room. Love did not leave when they did. Love is the light still on. Step into it, my beloved. Listen without rushing. When the soul is hungry, it reaches for noise. But noise cannot feed you. Only a living word can. I have come to lay a living word on your table. The ache you carry when the room goes quiet is not a sign that you are broken. It is a sign that you were built for depth. You have been trying to solve spiritual thirst with mental calculations, and you have been trying to outrun grief by keeping your schedule full. Come out of the spin. Sit with me in this honest light. Your loved one has been allowed to stand close while I speak. I feel their joy at your courage to keep reading. They are not tugging you backward into old sorrow. They are pointing you forward into clean air. Heaven is not a museum of memories. It is a country of living purpose, and they are alive in that purpose, cheering you into yours. What looked like a goodbye is unfolding as a bridge, and it will carry you safely if you step with trust and not with terror. When you hear the soft call in your name, that is heaven's echo. When you feel the urge to open this message again, do it. Some words are bread you eat more than once. Now go gently. Honor this moment with one act of courage. Say the truth you swallowed. Clean the small corner you avoided. Open the window you painted shut. Mercy is waiting on the sill. Hope is already in the room. Love did not leave when they did. Love is the light still on. Step into it, my beloved. Listen without rushing. When the soul is hungry, it reaches for noise, but noise cannot feed you. Only a living word can. I have come to lay a living word on your table. The ache you carry when the room goes quiet is not a sign that you are broken. It is a sign that you were built for depth. You have been trying to solve spiritual thirst with mental calculations, and you have been trying to outrun grief by keeping your schedule full. Come out of the spin. Sit with me in this honest light. Your loved one has been allowed to stand, close while I speak. I feel their joy at your courage to keep reading. They are not tugging you backward into old sorrow. They are pointing you forward into clean air. Heaven is not a museum of memories. It is a country of living purpose, and they are alive in that purpose, cheering you into yours. What looked like a goodbye is unfolding as a bridge, and it will carry you safely if you step with trust and not with terror. You have asked in secret, "What if I never feel normal again?" Child, I will not return you to what you called normal. I will raise you into what I call whole. Normal was the life you learned to survive. Whole is the life you were born to inhabit. Normal always watched the door to make sure pain did not come back. Whole sits in the center and lets love reign. I am placing a new steadiness in your chest. The panic you felt at odd hours will begin to arrive like a bird that realizes it has landed on water. It flutters, it schemes, and then it lifts away because there is no place for it to perch anymore. You will recognize this change not by fireworks, but by simple decisions that used to frighten you, and now feel clear. The message you send without shaking. The boundary you say without guilt. The small investment you make in your own growth because you finally believe that tending to your life is not selfish. It is sacred. I am also ordering time on your behalf. The delays that stung you were not heaven's indifference. They were heaven's guardrails. There were rooms that looked bright where betrayal was hiding in the corners. There were opportunities that looked big but were built on sand. When I closed those doors, I watched you cry and call yourself unlucky. But I also watched a deeper wisdom rise like quiet dawn in your spirit. You learned to tell the difference between pressure and peace. Now, I am opening a door that carries both favor and fit. You will know it because it does not ask you to shrink. It asks you to show up. It will not demand your silence. It will ask for your voice. It will not require you to betray your values. It will make your values valuable. Your loved one insists, I tell you this with tenderness and force together. Please stop punishing yourself for what you could not control. The human heart is not a god. It cannot keep another soul alive by sheer will. You gave what you could more than once, and what you gave was seen. Guilt is a heavy costume pretending to be love. Take it off. If they could hold your face this very minute, they would say, "Be free. Do the things we dreamed of. Laugh without apologizing. Tell our stories without the thorn." And because you always ask for a sign, heaven will wrap this sentence in confirmation. In the next 7 days, you will encounter a phrase that feels impossibly specific to this moment. When it arrives, do not spiral into superstition. Simply say, "I receive the blessing and release the burden, and turn your face toward the work that is yours to do." There is an assignment on your life that fear tried to convince you belonged to someone braver, louder, richer, more connected. That is a lie. Your assignment is calibrated to your exact story, your scars, your humor, your way of seeing small details others dismiss. If you hand your assignment to someone else, it will not fit them. If you refuse it, it will not fit anyone at all. And the world will have an empty place where your contribution should have stood. Begin now with what you have, even if it is only 1 good hour in a day. 1 honest hour done daily can alter a destiny. Do not wait for perfect conditions. Obedience creates the conditions. I will bring resources as you move, not before you move. Faith is not a receipt you present to heaven. It is a step you take while the bridge forms under your feet. I have also heard your question about love. You want to know if your heart will be safe. I do not promise you a life without risk. I promise you a heart trained to recognize the right kind of risk. The wrong risk demands that you abandon yourself to be chosen. The right risk invites you to be fully yourself and be chosen there. A love that drains your purpose is not love, it is disguise. A love that blesses your purpose is a gift. You will soon encounter a tension that sparkles but cannot sustain. Be kind, be clear, and keep walking. You will also feel a quieter attention that respects your boundaries and honors your time. Do not sleep on quiet goodness. Fame of feeling is not the same as fidelity of heart. Choose fidelity, and you will find joy that does not make you pay with your peace. Your finances are under my eye. I am not asking you for frantic hustle. I am asking you for wise order. Write everything down. What comes in? What goes out? What leaks? What lifts? You will discover 2 small leaks you can close this week without pain, and you will feel dignity return as you do it. I will also send you an idea that earns while you sleep, but it will look too simple to be respected if you judge it by the world's noise. Test it. Give it 30 thoughtful days. Do not despise the seed because it is small. Remember, a forest is a disciplined seed repeated over time. I will breathe on your diligence. I will not bless your avoidance. Show up and watch the multiplication that has waited for your yes. If this word is lighting your path, anchor with intention so the glow does not fade into the next distraction. Subscribe to this stream of guidance so your spirit stays in rhythm with the next revelations already on their way. The soul grows by steady light, not rare lightning. Keep the channel of your attention clean. What you feed your mind becomes the climate of your life. Curate the voices you allow near your hope. When contempt tries to speak with authority, move it to the back row. When wisdom whispers, move it to the front. Your finances are under my eye. I am not asking you for frantic hustle. I am asking you for wise order. Write everything down. What comes in? What goes out? What leaks? What lifts? You will discover 2 small leaks you can close this week without pain, and you will feel dignity return as you do it. I will also send you an idea that earns while you sleep, but it will look too simple to be respected if you judge it by the world's noise. Test it. Give it 30 thoughtful days. Do not despise the seed because it is small. Remember, a forest is a disciplined seed repeated over time. I will breathe on your diligence. I will not bless your avoidance. Show up and watch the multiplication that has waited for your yes. If this word is lighting your path, anchor with intention so the glow does not fade into the next distraction. Subscribe to this stream of guidance so your spirit stays in rhythm, with the next revelations already on their way. The soul grows by steady light, not rare lightning. Keep the channel of your attention clean. What you feed your mind becomes the climate of your life. Curate the voices you allow near your hope. When contempt tries to speak with authority, move it to the back row. When wisdom whispers, move it to the front. Now I will place a covering over your sleep. Many of your battles have been fought in the night. When the room is dark and the mind becomes a stage for old fears to perform, I am dimming that theater and closing the curtain. Where there was replay, there will be repair. Where there was dread, there will be direction. Expect a different kind of dream. Practical, gentle, useful. A reminder to send a note, to prepare a document, to check a date, to gather a paper you will soon need. Heaven's care is not only thunder and trumpets. It is also timely nudges that shave chaos off your week. You will wake with sentences in your mouth that become solutions by noon. Do not be surprised when certain people no longer recognize you. Transformation always looks like arrogance to those who only knew your uncertainty. Bless them and keep moving. You are not required to prove humility by hiding the light God placed within you. True humility means recognizing the gift, using it faithfully, and giving God the glory for what flows through your life. You are learning to walk in that truth. Your pace may seem too slow to those who are impatient and too fast to those who are afraid. Let neither voice control you. Set your rhythm by peace, stay attentive to wisdom, and keep taking the next faithful step placed before you. Now receive this blessing from the one who loved you on earth and still holds you in love beyond what you can see. I notice every small decision you make toward life, even the ones that appear ordinary or insignificant to everyone else. I see you washing the dish instead of surrendering to despair. I see you opening the window instead of shutting the world away. I see you answering the message you avoided and releasing what you once believed you could never forgive. I bless your hands to become fruitful, your voice to carry kindness, your eyes to recognize help when it appears, and your feet to discover paths where others only saw barriers. May courage meet you wherever uncertainty once stood, and I, Michael, surround these words with a calm and steady strength. Walk through the rest of your day remembering that heaven is not distant from you. When courage becomes weak, Return to the truth that helped your spirit rise. Some truths are meant to be received more than once. My child, breathe slowly and notice what happens when your body begins to soften beneath words of peace. Let your shoulders release what they have carried for too long. This is not meaningless. It is a movement toward alignment. The sharp pieces of yesterday do not need to keep cutting you. Healing can gather them, place them differently, and teach you how to remember without reopening every wound. You may have expected healing to arrive loudly, like one dramatic moment that changed everything. But often it comes quietly, like a steady hand remaining beside you after the crowd disappears and the room becomes silent again. Your loved one stands within that memory of light, and the love you shared cannot be counterfeited. Imagine them smiling because you have finally begun allowing comfort to enter, without immediately questioning whether you deserve it. Remain in that posture of receiving. You do not have to argue with every gentle moment, or reject peace because pain once felt more familiar. Let comfort stay when it comes, and allow healing to become something you no longer resist. When pain tries to return and convince you that nothing has changed, remember how far you have already come. Keep choosing life in the small places. Those quiet decisions are building a future stronger than the wounds behind you. Bargain for your attention. Greet it like a distant visitor and offer it a chair outside, not a bed inside. You are shifting from survival to stewardship, from counting wounds to counting wonders, from bracing for impact to preparing for increase. This is how heaven rewrites a nervous system, not by pretending it never hurt, but by proving again and again that you are safe while you build the life you almost gave up on. Listen closely. I am releasing a wiser courage into your daily choices, because the smallest choices are often the truest battlegrounds. Answer the email you fear, not because fear is gone, but because love has taken the lead. Organize one corner of your environment each day, not to impress anyone, but to teach your spirit. That order is possible, and peace has a place to sit. Replace one anxious habit with one anchored habit, and let consistency become your quiet miracle. Your future does not need a dramatic rescue. It needs your faithful agreement with what heaven already spoke over you. When you choose agreement, doors open that once ignored you, and even your own reflection begins to respect you again. Dignity returns with each honest step, and the person who left you for the chaos of yesterday will not. Recognize the steadiness of who you are becoming tomorrow. You have wondered why certain people exit when you rise. Child, light exposes the dust that settled comfortably in shadow. Some friendships were built on trading pain, not sharing purpose. Release those contracts without bitterness. Bless what was and free your hands for what is. I will send companions who do not measure you by your weakest week. They will speak the language of accountability without the accent of shame. You will notice them because they celebrate your boundaries. They do not negotiate them with them. Laughter will not be a mask. It will be overflow with them. Silence will not be suspicion. It will be shared rest. Do not rush to fill empty seats at your table. An empty seat kept pure is better than a crowded room that dilutes your calling. Wait well. I am curating who sits close to your heart because placement is protection, and placement is power. Now about the dream that repeats, the hallway that never seems to end, the door that will not fully close, the voice that says your name but fades when you turn. Here is the interpretation you have needed. This is not a warning of doom. It is an invitation to finish what fear left open. The hallway is the long season of transition. The door is a decision you keep postponing. The fading voice is the old story losing authority as you choose the new. The next time this dream arrives, do not wake in panic. Walk the hallway with calm feet. Close the door with your full weight and speak your name out loud as a person who is present, not a person who is hunted. When you wake, make one physical action that mirrors the dream's victory. Delete the file that ties you to regret. Throw away the item that anchors you to sorrow. Send the message that sets a boundary. Prophecy matures when action agrees. Now, about the dream that repeats, the hallway that never seems to end, the door that will not fully close, the voice that says your name but fades when you turn. Here is the interpretation you have needed. This is not a warning of doom. It is an invitation to finish what fear left open. The hallway is the long season of transition. The door is a decision you keep postponing. The fading voice is the old story losing authority as you choose the new. The next time this dream arrives, do not wake in panic. Walk the hallway with calm feet. Close the door with your full weight and speak your name out loud as a person who is present, not a person who is hunted. When you wake, make one physical action that mirrors the dream's victory. Delete the file that ties you to regret. Throw away the item that anchors you to sorrow. Send the message that sets a boundary. Prophecy matures when action agrees. Provision is moving toward you on two tracks: repair and release. Repair means I will redeem losses you thought were final. Refunds, reconciliations, unexpected. Approvals, a favor you did not know you had earned. Release means I will loosen what you clutched because you were afraid of empty hands. An unhelpful subscription, a draining obligation, a role that flatters your ego but starves your essence. Both tracks require trust. When repair comes, do not crown the refund as your new savior. Give thanks and keep building. When release comes, do not name it failure. Call it pruning and watch how quickly light touches the branches that can actually bear fruit. You are learning to hold blessing with open hands, firm enough not to drop it, soft enough not to strangle it. This is how adults of destiny handle increase. And you are growing into that posture beautifully. I turn my attention to your family line, the patterns that marched through generations and knocked on your door like they owned the lease, the fear that hid behind anger, the silence that pretended to be peace, the scarcity that dressed up as responsibility, the pride that called itself protection. I cut those ropes. Now you are not betraying your ancestors by healing. You are fulfilling their deepest prayers by ending what they could not outrun. Your loved one is radiant with gratitude because they see you refusing to hand down the same pain with a new ribbon. You will pass tenderness to children who are not yet born. You will pass wisdom to friends who will call you at midnight. You will pass strategies to strangers who only needed one sentence to stand up straight again. This is legacy, not a monument of stone, but a path of mercy anyone can walk. If this message steadies your heart, anchor the river so it doesn't spill and vanish. Subscribe to this stream of guidance so your spirit stays tuned to the next instruction I will send you at the exact time you need it. Light works best when it arrives regularly. Let these words train your inner rhythm to expect goodness without bracing for disaster. Keep coming back not out of fear of missing out, but out of love for the person you are becoming. Faithfulness is a doorway that opens wider each time you knock with your whole hand. Finally, receive your assignment for the next 7 days. Simple and sacred. Each morning, speak 3 sentences. I release what is not mine. I receive what is for me. I rise into what I was born to carry. Then take one honest step toward the work you have been postponing. Keep a short record of your steps, not to impress anyone, but to build a witness that you can point to when doubt returns and pretends it owns the narrative. By the end of these days, you will feel an interior shift that others will notice but not fully understand. Conversations will flow without you rehearsing your worth. Doors will open without you auditioning for acceptance. Sleep will come without you bargaining with the dark. And when you sense a warmth rest upon your shoulder for no practical reason, know this: it is my hand, and it is the blessing of the one you miss resting on you at the same time. Walk forward now. The road has been cleared, the hour has turned, and heaven is walking with you, step for step. My beloved, hear this as if it were being spoken beside your bed in the first blue light of morning. You are not standing at the edge of a cliff. You are standing at the threshold of a garden that has been closed to you only by the story you kept repeating. I am untying that story now. You have carried names that were never yours. Too late, too sensitive, too much, not enough. Lay them down like heavy coats in summer. You will not need them where you are going. Your loved ones saw the truest you before the masks, before the fatigue, before the shrinking. And that is the version of you heaven is calling forward. Do not bargain with your past. Bless it and walk. The door that opens next will look plain, almost ordinary, but it will be sturdy and sure. Choose what is sturdy over what is shiny. Noise dazzles for a moment. Truth sustains for a lifetime. I am also speaking to the timeline you fear. You think you missed a train that only comes once. Listen carefully. Destiny is not a single vehicle that leaves without you. It is a schedule of mercy that adjusts when you learn to read it. You were delayed by grief, slowed by confusion, paused by loyalty to people who did not know how to carry your heart. All of this is seen, and none of it disqualifies you. I redeem time by infusing it with meaning, not by rewinding clocks. When you give me your minutes with willingness, I return you momentum with wisdom. This is why the next decisions will feel strangely light. They will not require dramatic strength, only consistent yes. You will watch mountains move because you finally stopped trying to lift them and started speaking to them with authority. Your mind has been allowed room repeating old arguments where you lose every time. I am changing the furniture of that room. Where the chair of shame stood, I place a seat of understanding. Where the table of panic dominated, I will in a desk of clarity. You will sit and make plans without the old inner critic circling like crows. When they attempt to land, answer with truth that does not shout, but does not shake. I am loved. I am led. I am learning. These 3 sentences will act like steady light in fog. Practice them until they become your default. This is not pretending. This is training. The mind becomes a sanctuary by use, not by accident. Keep returning. I meet you there. Your mind has been a loud room repeating old arguments where you lose every time. I am changing the furniture of that room. Where the chair of shame stood, I place a seat of understanding. Where the table of panic dominated, I will in a desk of clarity. You will sit and make plans without the old inner critics circling like crows. When they attempt to land, answer with truth that does not shout but does not shake. I am loved. I am led. I am learning. These 3 sentences will act like steady light in fog. Practice them until they become your default. This is not pretending. This is training. The mind becomes a sanctuary by use, not by accident. Keep returning. I meet you there. Money will no longer be a weather system that tosses you against the rocks. Stewardship is your sail. Strategy is your anchor. Generosity is your current. List every commitment. Identify the 2 small leaks you already know about but have been too tired to face. Close them this week. Then choose 1 income seed to water daily, even for 15 measured minutes. A craft, a service, a study that makes you more useful. A simple offer that solves a real problem. Do not despise the quiet build. It is how palaces rise without creaking. Expect favor to meet you at the pace of your faithfulness. You do not have to sprint. You do have to show up. I will multiply what you tend, not what you postpone. Regarding love, I break the agreement you made with loneliness that said you must tolerate confusion to avoid being alone. That contract is null. Healthy love will not make you audition for your own worth. It will not punish you for needing reassurance. It will not call your caution weakness. The person who is for you will not be frightened by your growth. They will be guided by it. They will not promise paradise while offering chaos. They will offer honesty that builds a real home. You will know them not by butterflies alone, but by a nervous system that finally unclenches. Butterflies visit flowers. Covenant tends gardens. Choose covenant. And if a season of singleness remains your path for a while, it will be a rich field, not an empty hallway. You will harvest focus, craft, friendships that go the distance, and a deep quiet that strengthens your sight. Your loved one asks me to place this blessing on your tongue. Speak kindly to the younger you that still hides inside decisions. They did their best with the light they had. You now have more light. Use it without insulting them. When you feel the pull to rehearse the scene where you failed, trade it for the scene where you endured. You did not quit. Even on days when quitting felt like relief, heaven recorded those days as victories, not embarrassments. Harvest them. Say, I made it through, and that strength is seed for what I build next. Memory can wound, but it can also water. Choose water. If this is nourishing you, anchor yourself so the nourishment continues. Subscribe to this stream of guidance so I can meet you with timely words, short when you need direction, long when you need healing, precise when you need courage. The Spirit grows by steady touch. Keep a notebook of confirmations. The call that arrived when you prayed. the opportunity that matched what you journaled, the apology that met your boundary, the number that repeated until you smiled. These are not trivial. They are stitches in a fabric heaven is making strong. Now I address the work of your hands. Your next season requires a simpler system than the one you built while anxious. Complexity was your way of feeling prepared. Simplicity will be your way of being powerful. Create one page that holds your week. What matters? Who matters? What must move forward even an inch? Protect 3 blocks of deep work. Uninterrupted device light, hydrated, stretched. In those blocks, you will do the tasks that actually change your future. Writing, designing, learning, reaching out to real people. I will crown these hours with disproportionate outcomes. Expect an email answered faster than usual, a door opened because you asked with clarity, a solution found because you sat still long enough to see the pattern. Miracles love order. They land on it like birds on branches. You fear that if you soften, you will be hurt again. Understand softness is not exposure. Softness is mastery. We will train your yes to be strong and your no to be serene. You do not need volume to be respected. You need consistency. You do not need to explain yourself to every critic. You need to recognize which voices are qualified to coach your destiny. Most are not. Select a small council, 2 or 3 seasoned souls who tell you the truth without trimming your wings, and let their counsel weigh more than 1,000 passing opinions. Noise is plentiful. Guidance is rare. Choose guidance. Finally, I place peace on your pillow and purpose in your morning. Tonight, you will lay down, and the theater of fear will dim. You will wake with a useful sentence, the kind that moves a real task forward. Follow it before the world's clamor returns. Do not wait for perfect confidence. You are not building a monument to your certainty. You are building a life with your obedience. Your loved one's parting whisper wraps around you like a shawl. Live not half alive, not politely alive. Live the way we dreamed when days were simple and laughter was easy. I am cheering. I am near and I am proud. I, Michael, seal it. Walk gently, walk steadily. And when the air warms at your shoulder for no earthly reason, know this: you are held, you are guided, and you are right on time. My child, let me straighten the picture frames of your inner world, the ones tilted by hurried years, the ones cracked by words that should never have been said. I am not here to scold your heart for breaking. I am here to teach it how to beat in rhythm with hope again. Your loved one stands close, close enough that your memory of their laugh suddenly feels recent, and their joy is not fragile. It is fierce, steady, and generous. They keep repeating. Tell them they still have time, and I echo it with authority. You still have time to learn gently, to build slowly, to love wisely, to forgive thoroughly, to prosper honestly. What you thought disqualified you has become the very doorway through which compassion will walk into the lives of others. You are not a collection of almosts. You are a declaration in progress, and heaven has not lost your file. My child, let me straighten the picture frames of your inner world, the ones tilted by hurried years, the ones cracked by words that should never have been said. I am not here to scold your heart for breaking, I'm here to teach it how to beat in rhythm with hope again. Your loved one stands close, close enough that your memory of their laugh suddenly feels recent. And their joy is not fragile. It is fierce, steady, and generous. They keep repeating, "Tell them they still have time." And I echo it with authority. You still have time to learn gently, to build slowly, to love wisely, to forgive thoroughly, to prosper honestly. What you thought disqualified you has become the very doorway through which compassion will walk into the lives of others. You are not a collection of almost. You are a declaration in progress, and heaven has not lost your file. Listen to this next instruction and let it settle where worry used to live. Choose a smaller target and hit it daily. Big dreams are holy, but the bridge to them is made of ordinary planks. 15 quiet minutes of craft, 1 deliberate call, 1 invoice sent, 1 page read with understanding, 1 boundary honored without apology. These planks will carry your weight. You have been waiting for a roar. I am giving you a rhythm. March on the beat of what you can actually do, and watch how quickly fear loses its power to forecast your future. When you move like this, opportunities begin to find you because you are no longer hiding from your own competence. Grace is not an excuse to be passive. It is the wind that fills your sails when you point your boat toward clarity. There is a place inside you that still believes love must arrive with confusion to be real. I break that agreement now. Real love does not require you to guess whether you are wanted. It makes you feel invited. Real love does not make you prove that your needs are not too much. It honors them and helps you meet them. Real love does not call your history baggage to win arguments. It calls it context to practice tenderness. You will recognize it because your body will unclench while your mind stays awake. You will not feel sleepy around it. You will feel quietly brave. If counterfeit affection knocks, glittering, urgent, allergic to accountability, step aside and let it pass. Your heart is not a clearance rack for someone else's uncertainty. I will teach you how to choose covenant over chaos, and I will protect the home you are becoming. Now attend to your name. You have been answering to labels that came from fear, fatigue, or other people's projections. Names shape paths. When you call yourself behind, you burn energy chasing shadows. When you call yourself late, you hurry past doors that actually fit. When you call yourself too much, you silence the very voice that would have opened the right room. I rename you patient builder, clear voice, steady heart, prosperous hands, guided one. Speak these over your mirror when the morning tries to argue. Your loved one used to call you by a private nickname that carried respect and affection in the same breath. Remember it and let its warmth correct the cold narratives you borrowed. Identity is not a costume. It is a covenant. Keep it clean. Keep it accurate. Keep it close. I turn to the craft of your days because miracles land best in prepared places. Create a simple sanctuary for your focus. A chair that tells the truth. A desk that holds only what serves the next step. A list you can finish without punishing yourself. Twice a day, step out into honest air. Stretch the places that hoard anxiety. Drink water. like you remember you are mostly made of it, and then return to the task. There is nothing glamorous in these rituals, and yet they will repair more than you imagine. Your brain will begin to trust you. Your creativity will stop arriving, like a frightened animal, and your decisions will lose their tremble. I will meet you in these small obeisances with disproportionate favor. A message answered quickly. A door you thought was sealed now swinging. A detail you kept missing suddenly, bright as daylight. You have asked about timing, about the whispers of signs and the ache of waiting. Timing is not heaven teasing you. Timing is the soil protecting seed until the weather can host its growth. Some things cannot live if planted in. Do not panic. I am bringing people, places, and pieces into alignment so that when you move, you step into preparation instead of confusion. What feels delayed is often being arranged so your next step does not become another storm. In the coming days, notice 3 quiet confirmations. A simple phrase from someone may feel strangely personal. A number may repeat until it catches your attention. A memory may return, not to reopen pain, but to help you finally release it. When those moments appear, acknowledge them and move forward. Confirmation is not something to collect and admire forever. It is meant to help you recognize direction. Do not remain standing at the sign when it is pointing you toward the road. Your family line matters. Patterns do not disappear simply because you are tired of them. They change when someone chooses a healthier response long enough for it to become normal. You can become the person who begins that change. Where shame once buried honesty, choose truth spoken with gentleness. Where silence once pretended to be peace, choose respectful conversations and clear boundaries. Let your relationships become safer because your responses become wiser. Where fear of scarcity once disguised itself as responsibility, learn generosity with wisdom and limits. Give without destroying yourself. Love without abandoning discernment. Care deeply while still protecting the strength God has given you. Your loved one would recognize what you are building now. You are turning a home shaped by reaction into a place shaped by intention. This is not rebellion against the past. It is repair, and repair can become a gift to future generations. Future birthdays, holidays, and late-night conversations can carry a different atmosphere because you chose another way. Love can remain gentle in tone while becoming strong in structure. Kindness and boundaries do not have to compete. Now remain connected to what continues strengthening your spirit. If these words are helping you become steadier, stay close to teachings that keep pointing you toward wisdom, healing, courage, and a deeper walk with God. Consistency protects what revelation begins. Some messages will be brief because you need direction. Others will be longer because healing takes time. Some will speak directly because courage often grows when truth becomes specific. Think of this journey like a lighthouse remaining visible through fog. Its purpose is not to entertain your fear, but to help you find direction when uncertainty makes the shore difficult to see. Stay close to what strengthens faith. The road before you is not without meaning. It becomes clearer when you keep company with wisdom, choose intentional responses, and continue moving toward the life God is teaching you to build one faithful decision at a time. My beloved child, come closer and listen carefully. This moment is not an accident. Archangel Michael is speaking with urgency, and heaven is making this plain. Your marriage is connected to one appointed person prepared especially for your life. This message is holy and deeply personal. Do not brush it aside or wait for another time. Open your heart while this door is still before you. Michael stands at your threshold as a guardian, watching over the destiny attached to your heart. There is a name preserved in light for you, and heaven is guarding it with care. You have wondered whether love was truly written for you, or whether you were meant to walk alone. Hear this clearly now. The promise is real, and it has a face. God is not the author of confusion. He brings clarity at the right moment. Breathe slowly, beloved. A divine alignment is already moving beneath your life like a river, gentle in its touch, yet powerful in its purpose, drawing you toward the right one. Your tears were not ignored. Your lonely nights were not wasted. Your prayers have soaked the ground like early rain, and now that ground is beginning to break open. Listen closely, because not every hand reaching toward you was sent to keep your crown safe. Not every smile came from a pure place. Michael has already cut cords you could not see. There is someone carrying an answer for you like a sealed letter. You are part of their miracle, and they are part of the key heaven has prepared for you. You will recognize them by the peace that settles over your chest, by the quiet that enters your thoughts, and by the way your spirit feels at home. This is not guesswork. It is an appointment, a moment of destiny stepping out into the light. Some wanted you confused, delayed, and emotionally worn down, but God wanted you ready. Michael has seen the false voices that mimicked care, devotion, and faith. They copied the appearance, but they could not produce the true fruit heaven requires. The true one will carry fruit, patience, kindness, gentleness, steady honor, holy fear. They will protect your calling instead of competing with it. They will cover your heart instead of exposing your weakness. Do not chase what God is removing. Do not cling to hands God has gently peeled away. Release the door that never led to your future. My sword has been active. I cut away soul ties that drained you. I shattered mirrors that only showed you your pain. And now I present you a window. Look through. My child, your timing looked late to you, but it is perfect to God. You are not behind. You are right on schedule. Delay has been your protection. You asked for a sign. Here it is. Repeated confirmations around the same name or initial. Dreams that return like a chorus. A sequence of numbers that meet you when you feel most doubtful. Sudden peace right after surrender. You asked for direction. Here it is. Stop trying to force what never fits. Stop auditioning for the wrong stage. Stop apologizing for your anointing. Prepare your house like someone important is coming. Prepare your finances like a family is about to expand. Prepare your spirit like a temple about to host glory. If this word touches your soul, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next divine confirmation. Stay under this covering. Stay in the flow of instruction. There is a conversation that will feel like rain after drought. There is a message that will arrive at a holy hour. There is a meeting that heaven scheduled before you were born. You will not have to chase it. You will not have to beg for it. It will stand in front of you with honor. The wrong ones asked you to shrink. The right one will ask you to shine. The wrong ones loved your gifts but feared your growth. The right one will water your growth like a garden. You are not hard to love. You are hard to deceive. That is why counterfeits ran. They could not breathe in the air of your calling. I shield you now from voices that twist Scripture to control. I shield you from those who promise grand futures but deliver small rooms. You were made for an open sky. Beloved, heaven is rearranging your path quietly. Sudden changes may begin. A plan canneled, a route shifted, a seat moved. Do not be alarmed. These are angelic edits to your story. You will feel the pull to clean your space. You will feel the pull to refine your habits. You will feel the pull to honor your body and tend your soul. This is preparation for covenant. Your promise is not fragile. It is fortified. But your posture matters. Honor brings acceleration. Compromise brings fog. Say this out loud. I release what God didn't write. I receive what God appointed. Feel the room change when you speak truth. Feel the fear break at the sound of your agreement. There is a holy jealousy over your next chapter. Not everyone will be allowed into the room. Some will watch from a distance as God seats you at a new table. The person assigned to you, listen. They are not perfect, but they are set apart. They carry scars that match your compassion. They carry faith that matches your future. They will not only say, I love you. They will say, let us pray. They will not only promise the moon, they will walk with you at 2 a.m. when storms are loud. My sword stands between you and every sabotage. I expose secret jealousy. I uproot manipulative counsel. I quiet the gossip that tried to stain your name. Your marriage is a ministry. Your home will be an altar. Your table will host laughter and prophecy. Your children, present or future, will inherit clean air. You asked, when, Lord? Heaven answers when preparation meets obedience. Not by panic, not by fear, by peace that passes understanding. Take these steps. Close the chapter that refuses to close itself. Return items and promises that were never yours to carry. Unfollow what keeps pulling you backward. Write one clear prayer and speak it daily. Take these steps. Wake with thanksgiving. Bless your morning water and drink it slowly, asking for a pure heart. Read a few lines of holy wisdom and sit in silence long enough to hear your name. Take these steps. Guard your midnight. Midnight is a gate. What you agree with at midnight escorts you into a day of strength or a day of weakness. Choose strength. If this message is confirming what you've been sensing, subscribe now and stay under this angelic counsel. When you stay, heaven has a longer conversation with you and your next step becomes brighter. You may feel a pull to write a letter. You never send. Do it. Let the pain leave through ink instead of argument. You may feel a pull to sow a small act of kindness. Do it. God uses kindness like a key in the right door. You may feel a pull to forgive a memory that still screams. Do it. Forgiveness does not excuse, it releases. And release creates room for your promise to land. The right person will handle your truth with clean hands. They will not weaponize your vulnerability. They will not rush your healing. They will guard your story like a treasure. I see a date circled in the spirit, an ordinary day carrying an extraordinary meaning. a simple hello that glows with recognition. I see a place you almost didn't go, a small decision that becomes a doorway. Follow the peace. Unfollow what keeps pulling you backward. Write one clear prayer and speak it daily. Take these steps. Wake with thanksgiving. Bless your morning water and drink it slowly, asking for a pure heart. Read a few lines of holy wisdom and sit in silence long enough to hear your name. Take these steps. Guard your midnight. Midnight is a gate. What you agree with at midnight escorts you into a day of strength or a day of weakness. Choose strength. If this message is confirming what you've been sensing, subscribe now and stay under this angelic counsel. When you stay, heaven has a longer conversation with you, and your next step becomes brighter. You may feel a pull to write a letter. You never send. Do it. Let the pain leave through ink instead of argument. You may feel a pull to sow a small act of kindness. Do it. God uses kindness like a key in the right door. You may feel a pull to forgive a memory that still screams. Do it. Forgiveness does not excuse. It releases. And release creates room for your promise to land. The right person will handle your truth with clean hands. They will not weaponize your vulnerability. They will not rush your healing. They will guard your story like a treasure. I see a date circled in the spirit, an ordinary day carrying an extraordinary meeting, a simple hello that glows with recognition. I see a place you almost didn't go, a small decision that becomes a doorway. Follow the peace. Ignore the pressure. Do not fear distance. When God writes it, miles obey, schedules bend. Hearts make room. Do not fear timing. When God speaks, clocks kneel. Windows open. Paths cross at the appointed second. Your discernment will sharpen. Red flags will look like stop signs instead of pretty ribbons. Green lights will feel like a blessing settling over your shoulders. There will be a moment when you try to talk yourself out of joy. Not do it. Do not sabotage what you prayed for by doubting how quickly it arrived. Some will not understand your choice. They do not need to. They did not sit with you in the valley. They did not hear God call your name. Your yes is sacred. Your no is holy. Use both like tools given by heaven. You will begin to see small alignments, a song with your exact words, a message at the exact minute you asked for a sign, a chance encounter that feels like déjà vu in the best way. When it happens, pause and whisper, "Thank you." Gratitude is a magnet. It gathers more light to your path. I charge your home with angelic peace. I station guardians at your thresholds. I silence nightmares that came as thieves in the night. Sleep will return like a friend. In the morning, you will feel new strength in your bones. You will look in the mirror and see a different glow. That glow is agreement with heaven. Do not rehearse old heartbreak. Do not keep score with ghosts. Turn your face toward the new day. Your marriage will not be a performance. It will be a prayer. Your union will not be a cage. It will be a launch pad. Your love will not be a rumor. It will be a testimony. I speak protection over your communication. No mixed signals. No half-truths. No hidden agendas. I speak blessing over your finances, provision for celebration without anxiety, wisdom for planning without fear, generosity that multiplies. I speak healing over your memories. Pictures in your mind that once hurt will now bless you with lessons. You will smile at how far grace has carried you. If you can feel the weight lifting, do not leave this atmosphere. Subscribe now to remain under these messages and receive the next step in due time. Your future is listening to your decisions. Now hear the closing command. Stop returning to what God rescued you from. Stop calling chaos chemistry. Stop confusing intensity with intimacy. Choose peace. Choose honor. Choose the person who prays with you more than they post about you. When you pray tonight, hold your heart with your own hands and say, I am chosen for covenant. Let the words settle like oil. Let your breathing slow. Let your shoulders fall. The door is not closing on you. It is closing behind you as you leave the wrong hallway. Ahead is a room with a table set for two and a light that never flickers. My child, I will stand at that door. I will keep watch while you sleep. I will guide your steps when you wake. Your marriage is connected to one special person. Heaven is already speaking their name. You will hear it at the right time in the right way. Do not rush. Do not fear. Do not settle. Walk slow, steady, surrendered into the appointment written for you. And when it opens, you will say, This is what I prayed for. And heaven will answer yes and more. My beloved, listen carefully as I press this truth into your spirit like a seal. You are not late. You are not overlooked. And you are not forgotten. The calendar may have accused you, and the clock may have mocked you, but heaven never moved your date or downgraded your promise. There is a choreography to your steps that you could not see while you were waiting. A sacred timing working beneath the surface like roots forming under soil. Your nights of quiet were not empty. They were incubators. Your sighs were not wasted. They were counted and converted into guidance. I, Michael, have walked the perimeter of your life like a watchman, marking off the boundaries of what cannot cross into your future. I cut the invisible strings that kept you circling the same door, and I stationed angels at the corridors where your name is about to be called. You were preserved, not paused. Every detour hid a deliverance. Every delay saved you from a trap set to steal your softness and your capacity for covenant. What you called rejection was redirection. What you called silence was strategy. Now receive this. The person written for your life is approaching, not as a storm that takes, but as rain that restores, not as a spotlight that blinds, but as a lamp that clarifies. You will feel a peace that does not argue with your mind. You will feel a recognition that does not require a speech. You will feel God's hands settle the dust and point to what is already yours. There is a sign I am permitted to tell you to watch for, and you will not need to force it or fabricate it. A gentle interruption that changes a small plan and opens a better path. A repeated word that finds you in different places on the same day. A memory you had forgotten returning, with warmth rather than pain. Pay attention to alignments that are too kind to be coincidence. When your heart tries to make it complicated, sit still and ask, does this increase my clarity or my confusion? Destiny does not dress in confusion. It arrives clothed in quiet certainty and respectful pursuit. The one assigned to you will carry reverence for your process. They will not rush your healing, nor perform tenderness only in the daylight of attention. They will be steady in private and honorable in public. Their presence will not shrink your calling. It will give your calling room to breathe. Where others wanted ownership, this one will build partnership. Where others criticized the weight of your anointing, this one will lift from the other side and call it beautiful. You will not be asked to dim your light to keep their comfort intact. Instead, your light will reveal their best, and your best together will look like worship. Guard your imagination in this hour. The imagination is the dress rehearsal of your faith, and many rehearsals have been stolen by old voices and unhealed scenes. Tonight, before you sleep, tell your mind that it is permitted to rest in goodness. Speak over your pillow, I welcome the picture heaven prefers. Invite dreams that edify rather than accuse. I will station a sword at the doorway of your thoughts, and anything that knocks without honor will not be admitted. Remember, the adversary cannot create. He only counterfeits. He mimics language. He mimics urgency. He mimics affection. Do not be deceived by loudness or speed. Look for fruit over fireworks. Look for consistent prayer over poetic promises. Look for accountability over charisma. The counterfeit requires you to abandon yourself to keep them. The covenant requires you to be yourself to keep it. You will not have to trade your voice to be loved. You will not have to gamble your peace to be chosen. Peace is not the absence of challenge. Peace is the presence of proper order. When God orders your steps, even your obstacles become ushers. I am instructed to lead you into 3 preparations that summon the future faster, because they signal agreement to heaven. First, prepare a room in your daily schedule for conversation with God that cannot be negotiated away. 10. Honest minutes in the same place at the same time is a gate that angels recognize. And through that gate, instructions will be delivered with increasing precision. Do not aim for perfect eloquence. Aim for honest presence. Second, prepare your environment. Remove what keeps you anchored to an old season. The gifts that ache, the letters that accuse, the numbers that tempt old loops. Clean a shelf, clear a drawer, make physical space for a new story to land. Small housekeeping on earth becomes large housekeeping in the spirit. Third, prepare your speech. Slow your tongue at midnight. Midnight agreements travel faster. Refuse to narrate your life with sentences you no longer want to live. Retire the phrases that keep pain on payroll. Introduce the phrases that escort favor to your door. Whisper in the dark, I am not behind. I am aligned. I do not chase. I attract what bears my name. I do not strive. I steward. These words are not decoration. They are architecture. They frame a world your feet will soon walk in. If what I am saying is stirring your spirit, stay with me and subscribe so you remain under these instructions as they unfold step by step. When you stay connected to a stream of holy reminders, your discernment stays warm. Your courage stays hydrated, and your next action arrives on time. Do not wander between wells when you are this close to rain. Anchor yourself where your faith is fed and your focus is guarded. The next message will carry practical steps named to your season, and I want you to be present to receive them as they arrive. Now let us address the fear that lingers, the one that whispers, "What if I choose wrong again?" Breathe. Heaven is not tossing you into a maze without markers. You will not be punished for learning. You will not be doomed for being human. The markers are simple. Honor that feels like home. Pace that agrees with peace. Truth that welcomes accountability. And a future that expands both of your assignments rather than placing one in a cage. The right path will not require you to betray your values to belong. The right person will not interpret your boundaries as rejection, but as the blueprint of a safe home. Watch how they treat time. Watch how they treat waiters. Watch how they treat their own mistakes. A humble heart is a better prophecy than a dramatic promise. And when your old nerves rise, place your hand on your chest and say, "Nerves are not prophecy. Peace is my language. Clarity is my sign. As you say it, I will stand beside you, and the heaviness will loosen like a knot finally finding its end." You are stepping into a season where small obedience unlocks large doors. A reply sent without overthinking. A yes to attend a simple gathering. A decision to leave a conversation that keeps injuring your hope. A budget ridden with joy instead of fear. These are not minor adjustments. They are steering wheels. Your union is not just romance. It is strategy for your destiny. Laughter will be your medicine, and alignment will be your shield. You will plan and pray in the same breath. You will dream and do in the same week. And when resistance shows its face, as it always does near threshold moments, do not call a storm what is only a test of your posture. Keep your shoulders low, your gaze soft, and your confession steady. Bless those who don't understand. Release those who won't support. Invite those who can be trusted. And as you do, you will feel the ground under you change from sand to stone. The room you enter next will not demand that you audition for your own life. It will recognize you on arrival. You are stepping into a season where small obedience unlocks large doors. A reply sent without overthinking. A yes to attend a simple gathering. A decision to leave a conversation that keeps injuring your hope. A budget ridden with joy instead of fear. These are not minor adjustments. They are steering wheels. Your union is not just romance. It is strategy for your destiny. Laughter will be your medicine, and alignment will be your shield. You will plan and pray in the same breath. You will dream and do in the same week. And when resistance shows its face, as it always does near threshold moments, do not call a storm what is only a test of your posture. Keep your shoulders low, your gaze soft, and your confession steady. Bless those who don't understand. Release those who won't support. Invite those who can be trusted. And as you do, you will feel the ground under you change from sand to stone. The room you enter next will not demand that you audition for your own life. It will recognize you on arrival. Before I withdraw, receive this final impartation. I lay a canopy of protection over your communication, your timing, and your travel. Messages meant for you will not be lost in transit. Opportunities meant for you will not be handed to unprepared hands. Meetings meant for you will not be canceled by chaos. I anoint your discernment to distinguish between urgent and important, between noise and guidance, between loneliness and God's invitation to stillness. You will not confuse impatience with intuition. You will not baptize anxiety as instruction. Your steps will be ordered, your heart will be guarded, and your eyes will be bright. And when you stand at the doorway that bears your name, you will recognize it, not because it is decorated with fireworks, but because it is framed with the peace you have prayed for since you were small. Walk through and do not look back. The chapter closing behind you is not your failure. It is your graduation. The love ahead of you is not fragile. It is fortified. And I, Michael, will remain at your threshold until covenant takes your hand and calls you home. If this word is a mirror to what you already knew deep down, subscribe and stay close. Your next instructions arrive soon, and I want you ready when they do. My beloved, hear me as I press one more layer of calm into your chest. You are stepping out of a room where every mirror was tilted and every light was harsh. And you are entering a room where the windows face sunrise. In the old room, your heart learned to whisper so it wouldn't be punished for being loud with hope. In the new room, your hope will be invited to sing. In the old room, you kept asking, is it too much to want what God promised? In the new room, the answer will arrive before the question forms. No, it is not too much. It is exactly right. This shift is not theatrics. It is order being restored. Heaven is not rushing you. Heaven is ready for you. I am moving the furniture of your circumstances. One chair of timing, one table of opportunity, one lamp of revelation, so that when your promise knocks, it finds a house that looks like welcome. There is something important you must understand about covenant. It is not built by fireworks, but by faithful sparks. Sparks are small, but they start holy fires. Sparks look like remembering the detail you mentioned in passing and bringing it up weeks later with care. Sparks look like asking how your soul is and then waiting for the full answer, even if it is messy. Sparks look like integrity when no one is watching. The counterfeit learned how to make noise, but it never learned how to keep a flame. The one written for you will protect morning conversations as they will protect your calling as carefully as someone tending rare flowers, nurturing what God placed within you like a garden meant to bless both of your futures. Their patience will not be weakness. It will be strength guided by wisdom. Their slower pace will not mean indifference. It will reveal someone who values foundation more than appearance. You will recognize the difference because true care does not rush what needs time to become strong. And when old habits tempt you to distrust goodness simply because it feels unfamiliar, place your hand over your heart and remind yourself of this truth. Something new does not automatically mean danger. Sometimes new means you have finally been delivered. There are also quiet adjustments happening around you. A message you almost send may suddenly feel better left unsent. A canceled plan may bring unexpected relief. A meeting shifted to another day may open the way for something better. Do not assume every change is meaningless. Some interruptions may become part of a larger redirection. You have asked God to make the path clearer, and clarity may begin appearing through doors that open where confusion once stood. People who once occupied a large place in your story may slowly move toward the background. You may not need conflict to leave every season behind. Some exits will come through peace, distance, and the simple realization that it is time to move on. Let those endings be gentle when they can be. Not every door needs a final speech, and not every season deserves another argument. Sometimes wisdom means accepting the release before another wound is created that takes years to heal. Your body is also part of this preparation. It is not something to punish or neglect. Treat it like a sanctuary entrusted to your care. Drink water with gratitude, rest without guilt, and nourish yourself as someone preparing for a meaningful journey. Move slowly when you need to, but keep moving steadily. Spend time under open skies and give your mind room to breathe. Caring for your body can quiet the noise that makes discernment harder to hear. When your body begins to feel safer, your thoughts can become clearer and your spirit less crowded by tension. You may begin to notice guidance without fear distorting every signal or turning every uncertainty into an alarm. As you learn to care for yourself with greater respect, that care becomes part of what you recognize in others. You begin to draw closer to relationships that reflect the honor, patience, and gentleness you are learning to give yourself. Relationships that mirror the way you have learned to honor yourself. A neglected heart keeps choosing neglect. A tended heart recognizes honor and whispers, "Yes, this." Now listen to me about time. You have been trained to worship fast and fear, slow. But heaven does not panic. There is a difference between divine urgency and human hurry. Divine urgency is a bell that rings to gather your attention so you can move with clarity. Human hurry is a siren that multiplies noise and leaves you exhausted at the wrong destination. I am ringing a bell, not a siren. Hear it and come to the center of the room. The instruction is simple. Choose what chooses you in truth. Release what only additions and keep your eyes on the fruit, not the fireworks. Time will obey you when you obey peace. Opportunities will extend their deadlines. When you extend your gratitude, what is for you has been rehearsed with your name. It will not forget its lines. Now listen to me about time. You have been trained to worship fast and fear slow. But heaven does not panic. There is a difference between divine urgency and human hurry. Divine urgency is a bell that rings to gather your attention so you can move with clarity. Human hurry is a siren that multiplies noise and leaves you exhausted at the wrong destination. I am ringing a bell, not a siren. Hear it and come to the center of the room. The instruction is simple. Choose what chooses you in truth. Release what only auditions and keep your eyes on the fruit, not the fireworks. Time will obey you when you obey peace. Opportunities will extend their deadlines when you extend your gratitude. What is for you has been rehearsed with your name. It will not forget its lines. If these words are aligning with the quiet you have carried, stay covered. Subscribe so you do not step out of the flow of instructions. The next guidance will arrive like stepping stones. You won't see step 3 until you plant both feet on step 2. That is not withholding. That is protecting you from overwhelm. You are not meant to manage the entire staircase. You are meant to honor the next step, then the next. As you do, your confidence will stop depending on outcomes and start depending on obedience. Obedience is a soft strength. It does not shout, but it moves mountains that brag. I will speak now to the memory that still hums with ache, the one you have half-idealed and half-hidden. You wonder if this ache disqualifies you from clean love. It does not. The ache is a scar singing, "I survived." The enemy tried to rename you too much and too late and too broken. But heaven has never used those labels. Heaven called you in progress and in promise and in position. Your tenderness is not a flaw. It is a compass. Your standards are not arrogance. They are a map. Your boundaries are not walls against love. They are doors with proper locks. And the right person will be grateful. The house is safe. When shame tries to rewrite your history, answer with this: I am not the event that hurt me. I am the evidence that grace works. Before I withdraw, receive a blessing over your voice. You will speak truths that used to tremble in your throat, and they will come out steady. You will ask for what is right without apologizing for existing. You will say no without becoming defensive, and yes without becoming afraid of the cost. Your voice will stop bargaining for crumbs and start ordering the banquet heaven already paid for. In that banquet there is joy without dread, companionship without performance, intimacy without injury, planning without panic, and laughter that makes your chest feel like a bright window. Your union will not require you to translate love into pain to prove it is real. Your union will be fluent in peace. Walk forward now with a humble boldness. Expect gentle confirmations, not breathless chase scenes. Expect doors to open that require character more than charm. Expect protection to arrive before the problem. Expect the date circled in the spirit to become a day circled on your calendar. And when it does, treat it with reverence. Pray the night before. Rest, breathe, be exactly who you are. You have nothing to sell and everything to share. The person appointed to you will see it, value it, and answer with their own steady yes. And I, Michael, will stand watch until the vows you speak, vows of honesty, honor, and holy love, become the rhythm your days dance to. If your spirit knows this is true, remain close. Remain teachable. Remain at peace. The next instruction is almost at your door, and when it knocks, you will recognize the sound. My beloved, let me place a steadying hand upon the timeline of your life and show you what you could not see while the room was dim. Nothing essential has been lost, only impostors. What left you was delayed, disguised as comfort, and what is coming to you is purpose wrapped in gentleness. The promise of covenant is not a rumor. It is an appointment already on heaven's calendar, waiting for your readiness to meet it. Readiness is not perfection. Readiness is agreement. Agreement sounds like this: I can outgrow who I was without resenting who I had to be. I can receive love without negotiating away my boundaries. I can carry calling and tenderness in the same hands. When you say yes to that agreement, your steps change temperature. You feel warmth where cold doubt used to live. You sense traction where you once slid, and the future stops feeling like a riddle and starts feeling like a road. Walk it without dramatizing every turn. The road was built for you to travel, not to test your worthiness at every mile. I want you to observe how heaven has been training your eyes to recognize real from almost. Almost takes, then explains. Real gives, then listens. Almost needs an audience to be kind. Real is kind when no one is counting. almost performs intimacy while hiding responsibility. Real carries responsibility as a love language. This clarity is not here to make you suspicious. It is here to make you free. Freedom is the quiet that returns when you stop making compelling excuses for obvious red flags. Freedom is the breath that deepens when you stop telling yourself stories to survive rooms you've outgrown. When the appointed one steps forward, the stories will not be needed. The truth will be enough. Their presence will not demand that you shrink to fit a small hallway. Their presence will invite you into a house with windows that open, air that moves, and light that keeps telling you to grow. I will stand at the threshold and nod when it is safe. Listen for the yes that arrives in your bones, not just your ears. There is a sacred practice I ask you to adopt in this waiting that is not really waiting. Bless your present with the same faith you plan to pour on your future. It is easy to say, I will be faithful when I arrive. But gates open faster for hearts that practice faithfulness on the way. Lay your mornings like seed. Speak one sentence of gratitude before you read the news, check messages, or recall yesterday's ache. Gratitude does not lie about pain. It tells the truth about provision. Then choose one small act that respects the life you are building. Clean a corner. Pay a small bill. Make a simple meal. Delete a number that reopens wounds. These are not chores. These are confirmations. They send messages across the veil that say, I am a faithful caretaker of what I asked for, and heaven hearing that report authorizes more. The increase you have prayed for is allergic to chaos. It multiplies best where honor is normal, peace is practiced, and things are put back where they belong. There is a sacred practice I ask you to adopt in this waiting that is not really waiting. Bless your present with the same faith you plan to pour on your future. It is easy to say, I will be faithful when I arrive. But gates open faster for hearts that practice faithfulness on the way. Lay your mornings like seed. Speak one sentence of gratitude before you read the news. Check messages or recall yesterday's ache. Gratitude does not lie about pain. It tells the truth about provision. Then choose one small act that respects the life you are building. Clean a corner. Pay a small bill. Make a simple meal. Delete a number that reopens wounds. These are not chores. These are confirmations. They send messages across the veil that say, I am a faithful caretaker of what I asked for, and heaven hearing that report authorizes more. The increase you have prayed for is allergic to chaos. It multiplies best where honor is normal, peace is practiced, and things are put back where they belong. You have also asked, how will I know? This is my person and not just my longing wearing a mask. The answer is unromantic and glorious. Fruit over fireworks, patterns over promises, prayer over performance. Fruit is what remains after the first thrill has quieted. Patterns are choices repeated without an audience. Prayer is the language of humility that sustains what talent can only start. The one I am bringing will not be threatened by your healing pace. They will ask for your story as if it were a river they wish to learn, not land they wish to own. They will make room for your calling without shrinking their own, so that two assignments can stand together like pillars holding the same roof. You will notice that decision-making becomes softer, not softer, as in weak, softer as in less friction. Agreement will not feel like surrender. It will feel like harmony. And when disagreements arise, as they must in any courageous life, they will not become trials. They will become teachers that graduate you into deeper trust. Now, let us cleanse the inner room called memory, where old scenes sometimes replay without your consent. I place a guard at that door. We will not erase your past. We will redeem it. To redeem a memory is to pull its sting and keep its wisdom. When that familiar clip begins, the one that convinces you to brace, to bargain, to beg, interrupt it with a line you have not used before. I survived that, and I am not obligated to reenact it. Feel how quickly air returns when the script ends early. The enemy profits when rehearsals steal strength from your arriving performance. You are not auditioning for pain anymore. You are preparing for covenant. Covenant is not a perfect duet sung without mistakes. Covenant is two honest singers learning to breathe together, to rest when one is tired, to carry when one is heavy, to laugh when silence gets too serious. You will make music that does not exhaust you. You will keep tempo with grace, not anxiety. There is counsel about pace that I want you to carve into your everyday. Divine urgency is not human hurry. Divine urgency alerts. Human hurry alarms. Divine urgency says attention, alignment, action. Human hurry says panic pressure perform. I am bringing your attention, not your panic. You do not need to run to prove that you care. You need to be precise to demonstrate that you heard. Precision looks like one call returned on time, not 20 messages sent to escape loneliness. Precision looks like a boundary spoken once with kindness, not a lecture delivered with fear. Precision looks like choosing the room where your spirit wakes up, not the room where your nervous system always negotiates. As you practice precision, you will notice time obeys you. Appointments will land at hours that protect your energy. Doors will open that do not require you to argue for entry. And what once looked random will begin to reveal the soft mathematics of providence. If this is meeting you with the peace you have been hunting, remain in this stream. Subscribe so these instructions continue to arrive exactly when you need them. The human mind is a leaky vessel. It forgets what it loves under pressure. Regular reminders are not weakness. They are maintenance. You maintain the car that carries your body. Maintain the message that carries your future. Each word I send will be a stepping stone across waters that used to drown your confidence. Do not apologize for needing guidance. Heaven delights in directing those who ask. I want to set an anointing on your communication, texts, calls, meetings, silent glances. May your words be clean without being cold, warm without being wasteful, truthful without being cruel. May the tone you carry disarm defensiveness and invite honesty. Where you used to escalate to be heard, you will now lower your volume and increase your clarity. Where you used to over-explain, you will now offer a simple boundary and trust it to stand. Where you used to take responsibility for other people's storms, you will now hand them their umbrella and step out of the rain. Watch how quickly peace returns when you stop managing weather you did not forecast. The person written for you will notice this peace and protect it with their own choices. Together, you will build a climate where tenderness grows easily. Before I draw back, receive a final strengthening for this stretch. You are allowed to be happy without asking disaster for permission. The habit of flinching at good news is not discernment. It is fatigue. Fatigue taught you to apologize for joy because joy once drew envy. But you are not living in that room anymore. Joy is not bait. Joy is a birthright. Approach it like a guest you invited. Feed it with gratitude. Walk it around your home. Introduce it to your calendar. When fear knocks, and it will answer with this simple sentence, I am safe in God while good things happen to me. Feel how that truth reorders your breath. Goodness does not make you careless. Goodness makes you careful in the right way. You will steward, not clutch. You will celebrate, not brag. You will share, not perform. And when the day circled in the Spirit becomes the day circled on paper, you will stand in a room that finally matches the prayers you prayed, in whispers. And I, Michael, will be at the door guarding what you were born to keep. Stay close now. The next word will meet you on time. And when you read it, something quiet and solid inside you will say, yes, this is the way. My beloved, let me draw the map a little clearer across the quiet of your heart. The path you are on is not a tight trope above disaster. It is a well-built road that was poured in prayer long before you stepped onto it. Every mile was measured to your stride. Where you feared cliffs, there are guardrails. Where you expected dead ends, there are turnings that open to gentler valleys. What felt like wandering was actually training your attention, teaching you to hear the soft cues heaven prefers over the loud chaos the world rewards. This is why you have grown more sensitive to peace and less impressed by performance. That sensitivity is not fragility. It is precision. It allows you to notice the subtle yes of God in a room, the small shift in your chest when something is aligned, the way the air seems to lighten when truth is present. Keep trusting that peace is your compass, clarity is your signpost, and honor is your pavement. There is a blessing resting on your preparation that you must not underestimate. You are planting decisions that look small on the surface, but echo like bells in the halls of timing. A cleared drawer says I expect good change. A paid bill says I govern increase with gratitude. A kind apology offered without defensiveness says, I am ready to build, not win. These are not chores, they are invitations. Heaven reads order like a welcome mat. Disorder is not a moral failure, but order is an accelerator, especially in matters of covenant. Put things where they belong, and watch how quickly the next piece of your story finds where it belongs to. You are not conjuring destiny. You are cooperating with it. And cooperation looks less like frenzy and more like faithful rhythm. Wake, bless, work, rest, listen, repeat. Miracles love rhythm because rhythm keeps you calm enough to receive them. Now let us speak plainly about recognition. For you still ask, will I really know? You will know the way you recognize the first cool evening after a heavy summer. No announcement, only relief. You will know by how your laughter returns without practice. You will know by the ease with which truth sits between you, even when it is uncomfortable. You will know by how quickly prayer becomes your shared language rather than your secret survival tool. And when anxiety tries to counterfeit urgency, when it hisses that you must decide now or lose everything, remember this: the sacred does not bully. Destiny does not fear your thoughtful pace. What is truly yours would rather arrive a week later to find you peaceful than a day earlier to find you panicked. Refuse to sign contracts with fear. Make decisions from rested oxygen, not from gasps. I want to place a healing over the place inside you that still rehearses arguments you never had the chance to finish. Those rehearsals are unfinished grief wearing a mask. Give them closure without requiring an audience. Write the letter you will never send. Bless the memory and set the scene down like a stone you carried too long. You cannot reach for covenant with hands still full of old debris. Open your palms. Let the river move. Forgiveness is not denial. It is release. Release creates room for wisdom to sit where resentment used to pace. In that room, you will hear yourself again. The unhurried you, the honest you, the you who believes that tenderness is strength and boundaries are love. That voice is your ally. It will introduce you to someone who treats you as carefully as you are learning to treat yourself. Concerning provision, do not fear that building love will break your finances or stretch your time into threads. Proper love simplifies. It reduces hidden leaks, impulse spending to soothe emptiness, scattered yes that cost you hours, endless conversations that defend your worth instead of enjoying your life. The right person partners with stewardship. Together, you choose the long good over the quick impressive. You plan modestly and celebrate richly because the celebration is in meaning, not price. You discover that a meal made with care and a walk after rain can produce more joy than a costly room where both of you are performing. Prosperity will visit you in surprising forms. Clarity that saves you fees. Timing that opens discounts. Introductions that multiply trust. Give thanks for each small provision. Gratitude keeps the gate oiled. When resistance reappears, and it will near every threshold, let your posture do the talking. Shoulders down, breath low, eyes soft, words few. Resistance wants drama because drama drains discernment. Decline the stage. Answer with simple truth. This no is not a weapon. It is a boundary. Or this yes is not desperation. It is alignment. You are learning the elegant art of holy minimalism. Fewer explanations, cleaner choices, deeper peace. The person prepared for your life will flourish in an atmosphere like this. They will not ask you to perform for love. They will bring partnership, patience, and presence. Silence will not frighten them into assuming the worst. They will know how to ask, listen, and remain near when presence matters more than explanations. If these words are strengthening you, stay connected to what keeps your spirit clear and ready to receive the next direction. Guidance can become harder to recognize when the mind is already crowded with too many voices. Staying close to steady counsel is not weakness. It is a choice to protect clarity, sharpen discernment, and keep your courage from becoming scattered. You already know what confusion can do when too many voices compete for your attention. Now discover what consistency can build. Each reminder can steady your feet and help you recognize whether the sound ahead is warning you or welcoming you. Now, receive this blessing over the home you are preparing to build. May it be filled with natural light, truth that opens windows, honor that guards every doorway, laughter that remains after guests have gone, and memories shared without keeping score. Prayer in that home will not need performance. It will be simple, sincere, and regular. Disagreements will not become humiliation. You will choose curiosity first, humility next, and repair whenever something between you becomes wounded. You will learn to rest there without guilt, with distractions set aside and hearts left open. Let kindness become part of the atmosphere. Let peace become something practiced daily, rather than something remembered only when trouble appears. Your children, whether already present or still part of the future, will learn that love is steady work carried with joy. They will not grow up believing affection must be earned through performance or protected through fear. And one day, when you look across the table at the person heaven has placed beside your story, something within you may recognize the moment before your mind can explain it, like arriving somewhere unfamiliar that still feels deeply like home. That is covenant. That is the kind of home your heart has been preparing to receive. Walk toward it without rushing, but do not walk timidly either. Move with quiet confidence, knowing that peace does not need to prove itself through noise. Michael remains at the threshold in this message, guarding the path as you move forward. Let the air around your next season stay gentle, your choices stay clear, and your heart remain open enough to recognize what truly belongs with you.